So Frank Warren has confirmed that he's been in talks with Billy Joe Saunders. I'm sure most of you have seen Billy Joe Saunders over the past couple of weeks. He was obviously at the Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight. He infamously tried to get into Eubank Jr.'s dressing room to inspect the hand wraps, and he was stopped by Eubank Jr.'s manager, Napa. He's a very large man. And Billy Joe is a very large man himself at the moment. The guy is, 5'9" or so, 5'10"? Must weigh 250 pounds, I want to say. That's what he looked to me. 250 pounds is just under 18 stone in English money. 18 stone is 252 pounds. Yeah, that's what I think Billy Joe Saunders weighs. There or thereabouts. Somewhere between 242 and 252. He's very, very heavy at the moment. Shifting all that weight is going to take quite some time. If he's going to do it, and in terms of being able to shift that weight, which weight class would he be fighting at? Probably light heavyweight initially. And I would like to see him back with Dominic Ingle, because Dominic Ingle knows how to get fighters in shape. He knows how to get people slim down and shift the pounds. Even if he doesn't stick with him ongoing, depending on how long his comeback lasts for, if it even happens at all, even if he decides to go with a different trainer after a couple of fights, just the initial weight loss period, I think he'd be wise to go with Dominic Ingle. So, yeah, Frank Warren confirms talks with Billy Joe Saunders, and Napa, Chris Eubank Jr.'s manager, confirmed that they're interested in that fight. Eubank Jr. is interested in Billy Joe Saunders and Kell Brook. And that was after, I'm not saying Napa's watched my videos, by the way. To me, it seemed that these were obvious names that Eubank Jr. should be looking at if he doesn't fight Conor Benn next. But I did a video right after the Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight where I said that I think the two best opponents for Eubank Jr. next, the ones that make the most sense, will be Billy Joe Saunders and Kell Brook. And that's what Napa subsequently came out and said as well. Eubank Jr.'s manager, that Billy Joe Saunders and Kell Brook are two names that they're interested in and that they're looking at. And to reiterate what I said in that video, in case any of you haven't seen it, the reason I say those names is because I think Eubank Jr. is too tight at 160 to be any kind of real threat to the middleweight champions. Even an old guy like Lara, I would pick to beat Eubank Jr. I'd probably pick Adames to beat him. I'd certainly pick Aleem Kanuli to beat him. If we are to see Eubank Jr. challenge for titles, I want to see a fully hydrated Eubank Jr. in the ring fighting whichever champion. I don't want to see a depleted guy. I want to see a fully hydrated guy. The problem is, stepping up to 168, I think the fighters there, certainly Canelo for one, far too good for Eubank Jr., fully hydrated or not, in my opinion. And several of the fighters coming through, I think, would be too much for him. You've got the likes of Diego Pacheco. I'd pick him over Eubank Jr. Christian and Billy, he's a sloppy fighter. I'll probably pick him over Eubank Jr. too. He's almost like a bigger version of Conor Benn. Christian and Billy. So, and Conor Benn didn't beat Eubank Jr., but he gave him some problems. So, I don't see, a way that Chris Eubank Jr. can go and get success at world level. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I'm looking at things. And so, since he's, 35, 36 years of age, he might as well have a little couple of cash out fights against the likes of, as I say, Billy Joe Saunders, if he can get down to some kind of reasonable weight, and Kell Brook. If he has one or both of those fights and comes through the victorious, then maybe go for a Canelo or whatever, but I would expect him to get smashed to bits against Canelo Alvarez. Even though Canelo Alvarez didn't look great against William Skull, Eubank Jr. can't box like William Skull. And William Skull is horribly negative. He's nothing special, but I'm telling you, Eubank Jr. is not as slick a boxer as William Skull at all.